Hello, welcome to Kathy Woodhurst channel. I hope you'll think about subscribing. This particular session is just about having fun with background watercolors, and I thought I would show you how I did this one. This is the background for a lavender painting that I did, and there's yellows and blues here that have sort of washed together, and then you'll see some interesting, I just like little speckles that sort of break up the color a bit, and it's just kind of fun. Looks good in backgrounds for floral paintings. So let's get started. You'll need some watercolor paper, a flat brush for watercolors, obviously some watercolor paints, place to mix your colors, a tray to mix your colors, and some small brushes. I'll show you how to use those at the end. So we're just going to wet our paper. I'll just do a few rows here. And you're wetting the paper so that you can put your color on top. Pretty wet. I'm going to start with yellow at the top here. And you're just going to do a series of strokes very lightly across the page. I'm going to clean my brush off and pick up some blue color. And we'll run that along the bottom. And one last bit of color here. And you'll notice that the color starts, the blue starts running into the yellow a little bit. And just for fun, I'm just going to load my brush with some water and just let it drip. I'm just going to let it drip on some yellow spots and blue, and that just lets the paint spread a little bit, and it creates some interesting sort of watermarks in the background. And I think we'll just leave that. It just sort of breaks up the color a little bit. And then if you want really loose sort of blotches of color, you can take a smaller brush, load it up with some water, and let's just do some gold and brown, sort of, what is this, burnt sienna colors. And you really want quite a bit of color, because what you're going to do is just sort of tap the end and let the color land where you want it to, and you can see that it spreads out when it's wet quite quickly, and the edges are very soft. So you can get that sort of effect going. If you want to have more of a sort of dotted effect with defined edges, as there are in this card in the background, then you have to let the background color dry a little bit. And the way to let watercolor dry is just to go away and come back, obviously, in an hour or two, or you can use just a regular blow dryer and just go back and forth very lightly across the painting. So let's just see what happens as the watercolor just naturally dries, and we'll just drop a little more color in here. And as it gets drier and drier, the color spreads less and less and you get more defined points. So that's basically the whole idea. You just have a very wet brush loaded up with paint and you just sort of tap the end, and whatever flicks down onto the watercolor is what you get. And as I say, the background watercolor gets drier and drier. You get more defined points. You can use a whole bunch of different colors and just have fun with it. So I hope you play with some background colors and dropping different colors into the paint to see what kind of effects you can get. Hope you enjoy. Thanks very much.